Hi everybody, I bring you the worst news. Tramtown will be closed for the foreseeable future. I'm going to explain why towards the end of this video. My main focus at the moment is to make sure our volunteers are okay and support them as we eventually get back to a place that's much better than one we currently find ourselves in. I'll start though with what happened on Wednesday at the full council meeting. As you know, I had a number of questions. I prepared them in public. I sent them to the council leader, and those questions were based around: would the council leader support the creation of the Tramtown steering group? Would the council leader stop the demolition of the workshops? Would the council leader support movement to the Blackpool Heritage Museum Trust, a charity to set up by the council, and allow us to get the funding bids in to save the buildings and invest, because nobody is denying those buildings don't need investment. What did I get on the night? And there's a video link I'm going to put below. I want you to watch it. It'll be from the moment you can see where I ask the question to the responses I get. I received nothing but abuse from Councillor Neil Brooks, who's the deputy leader of the council, which is ironic because I'm the only person in the room in terms of the councillors there who's actually been part of the team to try and save the heritage trams. So we have people who haven't done anything attacking those that have, and relying then ultimately on us to go and carry on saving them. It makes no sense. But before I highlight some of Councillor Brooks's comments, I need to address the big issue that I think has been highlighted by the media, and rightly so, which is the council leader has concerns, rightly so, around threats to her and her home, and wholeheartedly we must condemn those. Nobody goes into becoming a councillor or a member of parliament to be threatened. I've had issues myself that I've had to refer to the police recently in terms of harassment, and so I understand what that's like. So I want to condemn wholeheartedly anybody that makes any threats to any councillor, including obviously Councillor Williams. Not acceptable at all. However, that doesn't mean we shouldn't be able to email our councillors, our MPs, our council leaders, but we must just do it in a respectful way. And if anybody wants to email me, my email address is paul.galley@blackpool.gov.uk. Email me anytime, and I will try and address your questions. Sometimes I don't have a chance to reply because I just get so many, but we must still have open dialogue with our councillors and not be afraid. The key bit is though, just don't make them threatening, and we must condemn that, and hopefully the police will address who sent any of the threatening emails to her. But I know the vast majority of people have not threatened Councillor Williams. They've just rightly raised concerns. Now, on the night, Councillor Brooks lays into me, questioning my honesty, and says, as a chair of Blackpool Transport, I should have known this was part of the plan. Now, part of the plan 4 years ago, as we know, was to bring electric buses to Blackpool, and as part of that, the tram workshops were going to be demolished. What Councillor Brooks didn't highlight was that secured, as the chair of the board, £800,000 from a loan from the council to the company that would see a third of the tram shed refurbished and the workshop facilities relocated, repurposed, including the forge, so engineering could continue. When the buses programme has been pulled back or rolled back, and now I believe it's on hold, the reason to demolish no longer existed, so the 800,000 was withdrawn, and recreated a new plan, which was to put Tramtown into the workshops because we couldn't get access into the tram shed anymore, and rebuild the whole business plan, grow our volunteers, allow the public in, generate some money, support the business case for all of those numbers. That was the plan. So Councillor Brooks accusing me of being dishonest was really poor taste, and no need for it, and was insulting to myself, the volunteers, everybody, yourselves, for all the work that we've done. And I want you to watch that and make your own mind up on that. So the questions I'd asked the council leader, the council leader then stands up and says that, and makes a number of points, one of which was there is an ongoing Tramtown plan. There is a Tramtown steering group. Well, I'm not on it. She says there's clear terms of reference. Well, I've not seen them. No volunteer representatives are on it, as far as I'm aware. And then she highlighted as well the meeting I didn't attend in November. Well, the reason I didn't go to that meeting in November was I was poorly, and I went to another meeting instead at East Pines Park to deal with the illumination switch on for the Christmas lights. I couldn't be in two places at once. However, a representative who wasn't a Tramtown volunteer did go to that meeting. And says that they can maintain the trams at Stargate for the time being. Well, we know that when those trams, there's 2 or 3 of them, start to break down, eventually where they won't have the ability to manufacture any of the parts there. At the moment, you can't manufacture them at Rigby Road either, but you've got more chance with the right machinery than without it. And it's a plan that what we want to do is to repurpose the machinery, repurpose the building it's in terms of the work to protect it, and have engineers back in time. That's always been the plan, like you would see at Heritage Rail operation, always been one of the things. She said that she was obviously keen to support, but couldn't give any guarantees. And I made a note here, we have not made a final decision on the workshop. So again, rolling back on this firm commitment. And a new funding bid is going to be submitted. Well, I can tell you now, no Tramtown volunteer representatives or members have ever been involved in that bid. We don't know. We've asked for it. I suspect it's not going to go into the workshops. It'll go into the tram shed. But if you don't involve the volunteers who do all the work, who turn up all the time, how do you know it's the right bid? Why the secrecy? Again, the whole thing of this makes no sense, which is why I'm calling it out in public. Obviously, the leader was concerned about giving emails out, which I think we've addressed. I think as public servants, our emails are out in the public domain already for that reason, but just no abusive ones. No one should send, that's it, yeah, and no one should send any threatening emails. I think we made that really, really clear. The other points I wanted just to pick on, that the council leader is keen to engage, which is great. So what I'm going to do is send her an email and ask for her to meet myself and the volunteers, and we can highlight all the things that's going on and give her the opportunity to have an informed opinion and work all these things out from ourselves rather than what she's being told by others who may have other agendas. The other bit that came out in that meeting was it's clear that the council leader and the council establishment do not like me talking to you through YouTube, and that came through. She literally references YouTube, which you'll see in the debate. Well, I'm sorry. It is my right. It's a free country, and as long as I tell the truth, which I'm really keen to do, I want you to know the truth. The only way we're going to save those trams, because eventually they'll just rot away in the tram shed, is by telling the truth and eventually work out a solution collectively as a council, as a public, that will do just that. So I am going to continue, but I know there will be people watching this, waiting for me to make a mistake, and then report me to some committee and stop me from doing this. It's my right as a citizen to make these videos, to engage with the public and tell the truth. The public need to know what's going on. If you don't, then what type of person am I? What type of counsellor am I? So I will continue to make them, and I will continue to tell you the truth. So that was the night. It was awful. Volunteers were generally upset by it. They didn't expect that. I didn't expect it. I want you to watch it, make your own mind up. But trying to find a way forwards now is key, and that way forwards is that we work on a plan to meet the council leader directly. I will email her and ask for that meeting with myself and the volunteers. It'll be a very friendly meeting, very respectful meeting, but we need to highlight what's going on. Now, at the start, I gave you the worst news I could possibly give you, which is that Tramtown is going to close for the foreseeable future. An electric fault has been found, and we're now waiting for contractors to come and assess that and work out a solution. We don't know how long that's going to be. I've got to spend some time now with the volunteers to make sure they're okay as we work out what the plan is. It's out of our hands, but we'll be pushing and pushing to make sure that we get back in as soon as we can. But the news is not good at the moment, and I will keep you updated on that. Everything that we've said would happen is playing itself out. Some of the volunteers are not surprised that this has happened. I can't comment on that. Other people will possibly, but we just keep the volunteers together. We make sure they're okay, and we do everything we can to make sure that building isn't demolished behind our backs. And there would have to be an extension on its planning. We have to keep the pressure on the council. We have to keep highlighting this, that without the workshops, there is nothing. We need to see that funding bid. We need to make sure it goes into the workshops, especially the fitting shop. So that is the news I bring you. It's been a very, very tough week. Main focus now is make sure our volunteers are okay. I'm going to try and see them tomorrow, which I'm going to organise a meeting about today. And just keep going, really. It's not the start to the year I wanted at all, if I'm honest. I've totally different set of plans, but we've got to do it. We've got to keep plugging away, keep fighting, and keep sharing every bit of news that we have with you. And we're not going and giving up without a fight, because I know without those workshops, without the ability to maintain anything, you'll never get those trams running again. They'll just rot away in that tram shed. And without our energy, you'll certainly have no volunteers either. And that's what's at stake at the moment. The people that are running it just want to insult me, want to insult us, and patronise us. So, but we're not giving up. We're going to fight, and we're going to make sure that we protect Tramtown and ultimately the heritage trams and get them running on that promenade again. And I don't just mean a couple. I mean as many as we can in a proper managed way that works. So, right, I will go. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll keep you updated. I've got some other videos I want to put up about some other pieces of work that I'm on at the moment. And I will see you all very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.